So I want to read a little bit of news and talk about this because it's kind of a big deal. So obviously ChatGPT has been a massive success, right? Microsoft's investing a ton of money into it. They're announcing, as we said in the intro, that they're going to be using it in their search results, which God knows where that's going to go, right? And how they're going to do that. Not a whole lot of information on that yet. So let's go back to what we were talking about with Google. So one of the headlines is Google loses $100 billion in stock value after a Twitter ad gives factually incorrect information. So for those of you that haven't followed this story, I'll throw it up on the screen here so you can read along with me. A factual error by Bard AI chatbot just cost Google $100 billion. Google fell more than 7% when U.S. stocks opened late Tuesday, wiping out about $102 billion in market value. This comes right after Google's AI chatbot Bard gave incorrect answers to questions posed by users at the launch event.
What a way to roll out their new tool that's supposed to compete with ChatGPT.
Yeah, you would think, right? That
ChatGPT does some pretty embarrassing stuff too, I think.
Yeah,
when I saw that, I was kind of
like... This is like their introduction to the world. Like, this is, you proving yourself that this is a good tool to use, this is a better tool to use. So that's...
Well, and also by a massive company, not a startup.
Right, that's another thing. They keep talking about how they have a reputation.
We've talked about this before when we're talking about agencies. Like, bigger is harder because it's less agile, right? Like, when you have all this, Google's a massive company, right? And all the people that went into this, I expected some kind of a snafu, but I don't think anybody expected it would cost them so much money. So I'm just going to continue reading just for the people that don't know like what actually happened. So Tuesday, after the tech giant announced an AI-equipped service called Bard to compete with the popular ChatGPT bot, the stock plunge worsened after Reuters reported Wednesday morning that a Twitter advertisement for the service, which generates answers for user queries and is debuting to a limited group of testers before a wider release, included inaccurate information. So basically somebody asked, what new discoveries from the James Webb Space Telescope can I tell my 9-year-old about? And then it responded saying, it took the very first pictures of a planet outside of our own solar system. And despite that claim in the ad, NASA reports the first picture of a planet outside our solar system was taken by the Very Large Telescope in 2004, 19 years before NASA's Webb Telescope. So it was wrong, but should it have cost them $100 billion? I mean, that's, I've got a lot of things wrong in my life, and I don't think anything's ever impacted me that way.
But you're not Google or
I
Alphabet,
get it.
You're not. It's pretty embarrassing just because, like, when you're doing a demo, I would expect that you have a large team on it and making sure that everything goes exactly as planned, even if the tool isn't actually, fully capable of all those intricacies. You would think that you would have the ad that's going out on social media, down pretty pat.
This is why you still need content editors.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
I'm interested that they didn't catch it because, I mean, if it's so, one of the technical superiorities that Google touts versus ChatGPT is that, ChatGPT has a certain limit of the data that it can access, right? It's like up to 2021, which there's another.
It's changing.
Yeah, it's changing. Version 3 right now, version 4 apparently is going to have a lot different information that it can interact with, but Google has access to everything on the internet. One thing I do want to say real quick is that somebody got fired over that.
Several.
I was going to say that somebody got wiped out. I mean, we haven't
We should
researched
check if there's
this,
like a social media manager ad for Google right now.
yeah, whoever
There should be multiple. Yeah.
whoever was like, yeah, it's good, sign off, launch it.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, like you were saying, I can't believe somebody didn't, or it wasn't caught.
I think it's easy to mock it, from an outside perspective,
Sure,
right?
sure.
I mean, obviously there's so much work that went into this thing. One of the things that shocks me about it more than anything is that, Bard and Sparrow and all of Google's whatever titles they're calling it now, this thing's been in development far longer than even ChatGPT was. I mean, they've had what was the acronym?
Lambda.
Lambda, yeah.
Right. So yeah.
So they had that a long time ago. They've been working on this for a long time. It's kind of strange how they would do even this small release without having those things figured out yet. I think that's an interesting point. I mean, years in development, only to upon release have a dramatic effect.